Hi, it's Ross Nickerson, and I hope you enjoyed that song that I just played on my new instrument that we carry here at BanjoTeacher.com. It's made by Bruce Fossey. It's basically a guitar body with a banjo neck. It's a really neat instrument, and when I saw him at IBMA this year, I was interested in it, and he sent me one, and last song I played for you was the first time I've performed anything on it, but really an interesting and new alternative for banjo pickers. One of the things I did when I got the guitar here, or the banjo guitar I should say, was I put thicker strings on it. It doesn't really work with the normal light gauge banjo strings, anyways, in my opinion. And I also put a wound string on the third string, so that's one of the ways I think I can bring out the richer guitar tones or the deeper tones by putting slightly heavier strings on it. And it is a neat sound. The song I played for you, "WeThreeKings," is from my book, The Christmas Music Made Easy for Banjo. It's based on that arrangement. I did do some embellishments, and I'm going to give you, anyways, a few tips on how I embellish the tune. That could be helpful to you. When I use the word embellishment, when it translates into banjo playing, it usually means a hammer-on, pull-off, or a slide, or maybe bending the string. Getting a second note by only picking one. And the arrangements I have in the book, Christmas Music Made Easy for Banjos, some of the arrangements I left out some slides and hammer-ons and pull-offs that I might normally play, and that was to help students learn the tune so that they could get it under their belt and then start thinking about embellishments and adding some more color to the song. Learning a basic version of a song is probably a good way to approach it. That way you have something that you can learn quickly. If there aren't too many tricks in there or too many slides and pull-offs and things to get you distracted from really just getting the timing right and getting the melody pushed out, then you can add those later when you get more and more comfortable with the song. The first segment of that song, when I put it in the tablature and recorded it in my book, I played it like this. Now, to add some embellishments, you could do something as simple as just add a hammer-on when you fret the second fret, for instance. And I know you don't have the tab right in front of you, but I play the second fret on the third string, and I play the second fret on the fourth string, and then I play the fourth fret on the fourth string. So it might sound something like this. So what I've done there is play exactly like it was written in the tablature, except I just added a hammer-on in a couple of the cases and a slide backwards in one of the instances there. Had I added those in, then when I wrote the arrangement in the first place, my thought would be that it would make it more difficult for the student to time the melody, and there would just be that many more things to confuse the issue, again, which is the really most important thing, is to be able to play the song clearly and in time and steady without any pauses and stuff. And sometimes when learning banjo arrangements from tablature, too much junk in there can really take away from that. The better approach might be to learn the techniques of adding slides, hammer-ons, and pull-offs to simple arrangements, and that way you can do it on your own. So I've chosen this month, and in some of the lessons to come, rather than to just put the tab out there and play the song slowly for you, or maybe teach a new technique like I have been in the past months, I'm going to play some songs, and then I'm just going to discuss a little bit about how I approach playing them and embellishing them and developing my skill within the tune, maybe more of an overview, which I think it's hard to convey in a book. It's hard to convey in a lot of things, or people just simply don't talk about it that much, so I'm hoping that it's going to help you. One of the things that's so much fun about playing this song, and also my guitar banjo here, is that you can play the song, a song like this, which I would think sounds best kind of slow and moody, and bring it out a little bit better than you can on a normal 5-string, although I do my best to make the 5-string sound sad too, but you can get that kind of mournful sound. It's in a minor key, and me play that short segment, you could hear that I used the dynamics, or another word for just loud and soft, to bring out the tune. So I tried to play it soft when it was in the mournful part of the tune, and when I reached the major chord, which the world becomes happy again. And by developing my ability to play louder and softer and accent notes, I'm able to play the songs more like I hear them. So again, we talked about it in a previous lesson. I just wanted to remind you again that developing the skill to bring out melody notes and to play some notes louder than others and to get good time in your rolls, it's all very important to your overall goal, or your end in sight, which is to really be able to play a melody rhythmically where people connect with it and really enjoy it.